Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I'm a healer, and this is a collective energy reading where we are looking at the energies for the collective, and we are bringing through guidance, perspective, inspiration, energy, healing, things that you need here and now. So, whenever you're watching this reading, is when it is going to apply for you. And so, this specific reading is actually going off a reading that will have been posted about a week prior. And that reading was about new energetic cycles and how so many of us are stepping into new realities, really, because the energy, which is the underlying material, I guess, that we use to manifest our realities, those energetic cycles have shifted. And so our realities are going for a spin. And a lot of it is about evolution. Yeah, it's about movement, the spin, but it's also evolution, growth, and really a kind of harvest for the work that we've been doing in the prior cycle. So this reading is going to be about new potentials and new possibilities that are open with the new energetic cycles, right? There are things that we can now attain to, that we can now experience, that we can now be, that we couldn't before. And so on that note, we have the first overall energy. We've got sixth ray of devotion. Wow. Oh, I love this. This is a card that talks about it talks about religion, actually, and about faith and the power of faith. And so this is a card that's very much talking about wherever you have placed your faith, whatever you have believed in, where you didn't necessarily have a lot of reason to believe, you didn't necessarily have kind of physical, not just signs, like in the sense that the circumstances and maybe the ideas and maybe the resources weren't there, but you still believed in it, you still held on, you still kept your faith. And this is a card that talks about faith moving mountains. And so there is a potential and the possibility in this new cycle to use the faith that you built up in the last cycle when you were holding on and you were going for it, to use that faith now to make things come true for you now in a way that was never possible before, or even a potential. I don't know if you're hearing it. There's something like someone is revving up a car outside. There we have one. And I wouldn't I might have started over, but this is so the energy. This is so the energy. This is so the space. So we're just going to move with it and keep going with it. To qualify, we've got the divine masculine. Yeah. And we've got commitment. Beautiful. So the divine masculine energy is coming in to reaffirm the notion that it's about making things happen. It is about from a faith-based space. And you see how this being has their hand over their heart. It's about the heart connection, knowing what we love, what we value, what we want to go for, what we want to put our all into manifesting, staying on that base and that foundation. And from there, the divine masculine energy acts and goes into action, into engagement, shows up, engages with everything that there is, the situation, the people, the problems, the issues, the challenges, everything, takes all of that on in order to manifest it. We have here the eye. I forget what it is. I think it's the eye of Horus, but it's a symbol of healing. So it is about creating and manifesting in a way that is healing. So there is a healing of the creative capability. There's a healing maybe even at a level where, oh, I really wanted to manifest it. I really was trying. I really was needing to make it happen, but I didn't, or I failed time and after time again, and all of those things leave scars. This is very much kind of Chiron energy, the wounded healer, like that's been doing a lot of work in the masculine energy, if you're following astrology, and a lot of that work had to do with healing the divine masculine energy that had just felt so drained and so belittled from trying to attain heart-centered things and reaching for heart-centered goals and just not being able to, and how discouraging that was, right? Discouraging. Courage is like when we listen to the voice of our heart, and that voice was getting discouraged. We were being talked out of it almost by what was going on. But commitment is here to say that this potential And the possibilities, they are the results of a commitment. They are the result of staying true to what it is that we love and what it is that we value. And swans are a symbol of commitment because swans mate for life. So there's this energy of being bound for life, committed for life to what it is that we love in our hearts. It's not going to go away. It's not going to get quiet and just drizzle out or anything like that. This is a life, ride or die with our own hearts. And it even is creating that heart shape. And that commitment we have held on to in the last cycle, so it's going to come true now, but it's also going to grow and evolve. It is also that the commitment is what we've created, but in this cycle, we also need to stay committed in order to really see it through. We have a full moon here. This is manifestation, and this is energy that's been building up to come into manifestation. And really, through that, there's an implied sense of manifesting something that is very important, that is very beautiful, that is very precious also. In a way, it's almost like if you relate to your light, however you relate to that, it could be power, it could be love, it could be inspiration, it could be truth, then that's what you're going to be manifesting. Like all the qualities of light. It could also be warmth and not being limited in any way, shape, or form. All of those things. Like if you would take a moment to think about what light is to you, what your light is to you, you would know what you've been holding on to, and you will also know what to continue with in the times that are coming ahead and in the process of manifesting and making those dreams come true. So that just came through as an aside. But here and now, in the larger sense, yeah, these cards are going to be about what to focus on in this process of these new potentials. And we've got a Queen of Wands. Beautiful. Yeah, that is essential. We've got the High Priestess. Yes. Love that. And we've got Major Arcana number 8. That was Major Arcana number 2. This is Major Arcana number 8, Adjustment, which is the equivalent of the Justice card. Beautiful. Okay. So in terms of the potentials, there's this energy, especially with the Major Arcana, is kind of setting the stage in a larger sense. With this Queen of Wands, it is talking about empowerment, and this is embodying our power. So everyone is powerful, not everybody is empowered. So this is showing up in situations, circumstances with power. You see how she's taming a cheetah or a leopard? She's taming a leopard. She's holding the scepter. There's this energy of I know who I am, I know my value, and being very unafraid, again, because she's powerful. And it's the same kind of energy. It's like speaking to the power that we're talking about here is this faith and this trust and what you've been holding on to. This is not something that is easy to do. So many people in your position would have quit ages ago. They even, Spirit is saying, they would have been running for the hills. They have been running, screaming, running away, wanting nothing to do with what you have been able to hold on to, what you have been able to live for some of you. You've been able to live for it, to live through it, even if it didn't seem possible, even if you were discouraged, even if it just didn't work. And the fact that you did that, that's your power. That's your empowerment. It's not even a power of belief. We're beyond that. We're in the heart. This is your courage. This is your pride in who you are, also valuing yourself. This is self-esteem. This is a deeper level of passion, of embodying your passion here. You wouldn't still be here. You wouldn't still be trying to reach for this potential, for this possibility. It's not even a probability necessarily. It's not even an inevitability necessarily. It is from a spiritual perspective because your heart will manifest it no matter what. But from your perspective and how you're living your life, it's not probability. It's not inevitability. There are so many things that seem to be getting in the way, but you have held on, and Spirit is saying that's what being passionate is about. That lots of people may be looking for a more glamorous definition of what it is to be passionate. Like we all have seen those movies with this painter who's just painting away, and it looks so dramatic, and yeah, it's like being drama influenced, right? Influenced towards seeking drama, but it doesn't have to be that dramatic. It just is the strength of you, the power of you, the passion of you that has held on to what is true for you. So that's first aspect, to realize that you are empowered in the situation because you're passionately loving and holding on to what it is that you are wanting, to this new potential and possibility. And that's what makes it a potential or possibility, that you're passionate about it and passionately holding on. And then we've got our priestess, which I love in this deck. Do you see in this deck, it's very specifically illustrated. The high priestess has a bow and arrow on her lap, but she's not using it to actively seek what it is she wants. Instead, she throws out the net and has it bring her the abundance, and has it bring her even the manifestation here. And that's the energy. And the high priestess, for me, when I see the high priestess, it is all about knowing the timings, knowing the cycles, knowing those greater dynamics of kind of metaphysical energy, right? For example, knowing what cycle we're in. And again, because you're in the right cycle, you can bring it to you with so much greater ease. This is not going to be about striving. This is not going to be about fighting. This is not going to be about convincing anybody of anything. This is not going to be about begging. None of that. This is going to come with so much greater effort than you could ever imagine, because it is coming. Spirit is like on wings of angels. It is coming with the natural flow of the universe. Naturally, the universe is moving, and naturally would bring to you. It's very organic. And that's because with the adjustment and the justice, the energy of justice, it's karmically right. It is aligned in the grander scheme of things for this to be coming together now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. So, or rather, not the last cycle, not the next cycle, but here and now. And you see how she's balancing on that sword, and it represents the sword of truth. So this is about balancing on the higher truth. So the message here, and that Spirit is saying really to focus on, is that you're intended to have this. The whole universe is conspiring for you to have this again now, in this cycle, with this energy, with these dynamics, with your level of empowerment, with your faith and trust, with the energies having built up, the light in what it is that you're trying to manifest, having built up to the right amount for it to manifest in the best way possible for you, with your masculine energy being able to approach it in a higher perspective and in a higher way than through the typical control, pushing, striving, struggling, which is not always bad, but it's just not in alignment with this higher manifestation that you are intended to bring in and to bring through. It's supposed to be something higher, something greater, something bigger. And now we come to the tarot. Yeah, we have the Fool there. There you go. It's supposed to be, yeah, a fool's journey, foolproof even, but it's supposed to be just at a higher vibration, like a master manifestation. It's not supposed to be whatever this potential and this possibility is that you've been holding on against all odds and logic and so on and so forth. You're supposed to have it, but you're not supposed to have it in a way where, yeah, it's a hassle, it's a struggle, and it's very, how do I put this? It's very almost logical that you came about it, or it's just very much explained by the laws and rules of the world. Let's say, for example, that you're building a business and you apply every single tip and trade that you get in the world about how to run a business. And you, like, I was just watching somebody the other day who was like, well, if you run your business, you know, you don't have weekends off, you don't have time off, you don't do this, you don't do that. And that's the narrative. That's the, what is it called? It's like, it's a framework, but it's the perspective, it's the understanding of how it's done. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. The same thing, if you're parenting, you don't, you know, how many people are parenting is so hard and it's so horrible also. But then it doesn't need to be for you. There's this energy here with the potential and the possibility. Let's look at the cards. We have 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. There's just the potential to live it in a completely different way and manifest it in a completely different way. We have 8 of Swords that came up upside down. I will keep it in that way. We have 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. And we have 9 of Wands. Okay. Exactly what I was saying, but next level, right? So 9 of Pentacles is about when we harvest or we enjoy the fruits of our labor. It comes after the Eight of Pentacles, where we've been putting in the time and the effort, and here are the fruits of our labors, and we can just enjoy them. It is given to us. It's abundance that's realized, and it is abundance that, again, gives itself, and it is about, it's really about enjoying it. It's also a card of justice, in a sense. Well, it's almost temperance energy. Not too much, not too little. It is about really enjoying it. It's like if you have a lot of money, right? You can buy all the food that you want, but if you only buy junk food, it's not Nine of Pentacles energy. It's that you also use that money to buy healthy food, good food for you, but also then you can have a little bit of splurging on calories here and there, having a treat here and there. But there's balance. There's it's not even balance, because it's the 9. It's much more a matter of, there is épanouissement. There is, it would be like a blossoming. I can't get the right word. It's thriving. It's thrift. You're thriving in it. There's plenty. There's abundance. There's wellness and well-being. And then there is a lot of initiative in how you enjoy that. So with the Eight of Swords, there's the message right away. It's not something that you can think your way to how this works. And if you try to think about it, it's with upside down, self-induced confusion. It's not complex. It's not complicated. It's very simple. But if we try to think about it, about what it is like to live this kind of life, we're going to get lost, because with the Five of Pentacles, we've never known this. There's a scarcity of people on this planet who have this kind of experience. It's the notion, right? It's like what Spirit is saying is like, you're going to be experiencing real abundance. You have the potential and the possibility to create in your life real abundance, and also realized abundance. But if you try to go at it from the perspectives of the old, that's the word I was looking for, paradigm, the paradigm of the old, then what you are going to find is scarcity, and it is lack mentality, because it just doesn't apply. And there aren't enough people on this planet who have this kind of life to create, not yet anyway, but to create a kind of narrative where you can seek that outside of yourself, and you will see it, and it will teach you how to work it. Instead, it's what you're going to find is more likely to overwhelm you. It's more likely to stress you, more likely to stress you out. And the Ten of Wands is also talking about taking on too much responsibility. So there's a notion here of it not being your responsibility to carry this for everybody else. It's so interesting. It's so interesting, because I feel like one of the things is that when you have this kind of reality and, again, potential, let's say you're going to be a parent in a different way. The point is to be a parent in your way. It's not to look at the scarcity of parenting on the planet and then feel that you have to take on the burden and responsibility of reforming parenting on behalf of all children and all parents in the whole world. It's not that. That would be overwhelming. There's so much potential here that it risks being overwhelming if we overthink it, or if we try to approach it through the perspectives of the old paradigm. And by the way, the next collective reading is going to be about shifting our paradigm, so that makes perfect sense. Tell us more, please, Spirit. I'm feeling so loved and so grateful to Spirit right now. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. And I feel like that's part of this energy, part of this potential. It's like I'm getting so moved, and it's like just the possibility of the potential, just the possibility of the possibility is so huge. And it's something like the soul inside getting on their knees. Yeah. This getting on their knees and being so grateful. Oh my God, thank you, God, for this. Not even the realization, just the potential. And then the divine masculine energies kicking in. And I got this before, but I didn't mention it, that when I was seeing this divine masculine energy, I was getting the energy of, like supermodels. And I remember one of them saying she didn't get out of bed for less than, I think it was $1,000 an hour to do photo shoots. And that's the expression. It's like the divine masculine doesn't get out of bed for anything less than this kind of desire, it's not a desire, this kind of dream, this kind of passion, this kind of yearning, this kind of calling, and also this kind of potential and possibility. That part of, I've never thought about it in this way, but part of awakening real divine masculine energy in us is having something worthwhile to pursue. Masculine energy. Protect, provide, pursue, perform. Something worthwhile to perform, something worthwhile to pursue, something worthwhile to protect, something worthwhile to provide. Oh my God. And provide for. Wow. All right. Let's keep going. We have Nine of Swords. We have got a Knight of Swords. And again, these cars, I never hear that really, actually. These cars revving up outside. There's just this energy of, let's go, let's go, let's go. But also, again, this divine masculine energy, right? Stereotypically, it would be like loving monster cars or cars who have engines who make this kind of noise, right? That men would like that, stereotypically again. But it's like the divine masculine energy having that kind of horsepower, that kind of roar, also that kind of power, making itself heard. We have Page of Pentacles, and we've got Two of Pentacles. So the Pentacles did show up. It is this energy of more Pentacles, of realization and making things happen. So I'm sorry. I'm feeling these energies, and sometimes it's just gnarly. But you know this energy. You've been there, right? I've been there. We've been there. This is the long dark nights, and the moaning and the suffering and beating ourselves up. And this is Spirit saying part of these potentials and these perspectives is going to be about seeing differently with the Knight of Swords, changing our thinking, changing our perspective on issues that we have been beating ourselves up over. And I just had that in meditation just this morning, actually, about a situation for years. And it's going to be this kind of energy of having seen it as, oh, why did I do that? That wasn't a good idea. Or, oh, why did I do that? You know, I was being so naive, having faith in that level in that way. And then there's a shift in perspective. There's a shift in understanding. And all of a sudden it becomes something different. It becomes, with the Page of Pentacles, a piece of the puzzle. Actually, what I realized personally was that I had been empowered in that situation in a way that I hadn't realized. I had been passionate. I stood my ground for something that I was passionate about, almost not knowing why. And because I didn't know why, with the Nine of Swords, overthinking and all that stuff, not being able to figure it out, my go-to pattern and explanation had been, well, I did something wrong. And so blaming myself. And there's a message here about it being more than just self-blame and shame and so on and so forth. But there really is something about your patterns, your mental patterns, and what has kept you in anxiety. Again, seeing yourself, knowing yourself. What is your big pattern? What is your big issue? What is your big thing? And actually, I'm being guided to ask you to write it in the comments, because it's something like, to become aware of it. Write it in the comments, and afterwards I will do a healing, and I will cleanse that for people who have written it, and also for people who will come to write it afterwards. So like, write it in the comment and have this feeling. It's like almost like you're putting it in the trash. That's me, the comment section. Not completely, but for those of you who want to use it in that way, like a place to just dump stuff, dump this energy, leave it in the comments. And when you leave this page, when you close the window, leave it, be done, done and over with this energy. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go, because your potential and these possibilities, they require you to have new ideas. Knight of Swords, new ideas, new concepts, new ways of seeing things, and especially a new way of approaching things. And it wants to move forward, but it's being blocked by this. With the Page of Pentacles, again, whatever you've gone through that really it's upset you, it shook your world, it's almost like what you are staying up at night stressing about, Spirit is saying it actually is a piece of the puzzle. It actually is something that was going to help you moving forward. You just didn't know it. You just didn't realize it. But that is what it is. It's something that you need and something that you needed. And the task now is going to be, how do I take where I've been and mix it with where I want to go? So it's about learning a kind of flexibility between where I've been and where I want to go. It would be something like, let me give you an example. Let's say you've been trying to create something, right? Or you've been trying to, again, start a business, and you've been putting your energy into your business, and all you've been meeting is failure, right? Understood in the right sense, but failure, 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 failure. And you were thinking, I was failing, I was failing, I was failing, I was failing. Then you come to a point where you go, actually, no, I wasn't failing. I was picking up skills along the way. And then now, you, with this divine masculine energy, you get a new goal, you get a new potential, you get a new possibility, you get a new way to go about things. And then it is about taking those skills and then matching them with your goal and having them feed into each other, right? So that your skills shape and mold your goals just as much as your goals highlight your skills and help you bring them to the surface, so that what you were whining about, I'm sorry, but what you were stressing about, what you were in anxiety about, I'm not minimizing this energy again, it's very, very intense, but I do find that laughing about things is also a way to clear it. So I do feel like Spirit is clearing a lot of energy from you as we are speaking, as we're talking. And so to clear this out by incorporating it in your process. Now, to give you an example, when I'm everything I do is seeded. You know, this reading is gonna match perfectly with the next one, and so on and so forth. But I don't align them. I just do what I need to do here and now. I said, what reading do I need to do here now? Oh, it's about this. Okay, potential, the possibilities. Okay, I wrote that down before I really realized that, oh, we're going to talk about the new energy and so on and so forth. It all fits together. It all comes together, but not in a way that I know or consciously intend, but I follow my faith. In a larger sense, it would be like I went to intuitive school, and I really enjoyed intuitive school. And then when I was doing the channel, I actually just left it behind and kind of moved on towards something else, like reading cards and all this stuff. But then I think it was a couple of months ago, Spirit was like, give readings, give intuitive readings. Oh, really? But it turns out that I had a new goal. I was looking at how to connect with people more one-on-one. And then intuitive readings came in, something that I had left by the wayside. Oh, it seems like kind of like a waste of time. I mean, it was a great experience inherently, but I just had left it at the wayside. And then Spirit actually shows me, no, it's a skill. It's a skill you have. Same thing. I went to business school. Oh my God. Actually, that one, at some point I was like, oh, that's a waste of time. That was a waste of time. And then I started my own business and so on and so forth. You have so many skills. Spirit's saying, as much as you have potentials and possibilities, you have skills to match. You have skills that match the potentials and the possibilities that are showing up. And a lot of how you're going to be able to recognize and know those potentials and those possibilities is by embracing your skills and diving deep into what it is that you can do, so that you can reveal what you're intended to do, what your heart is driving you towards, but also more importantly, what you've been creating and manifesting all along. You have been doing this. It's just time for you to get aware of that and to kind of jump on board and to be able to co-create in that process much more consciously. So let's get you some advice. First card, oh, beautiful. Dreamtime creation. Again, I feel so blessed. I feel this energy of being so blessed. And at a basic level, it's like, this is how everything I love about drawing cards. And I'm just, this is beautiful. And it's going so well. I love this energy. I feel so blessed to be able to give you these messages and so on and so forth. But it's part of the energy. It's part of the reading. It's not, specifically about me, but it's about coming into this time of just feeling so blessed with what shows up. Dragonfly emergence. Yeah. That makes sense. Look at those eyes. Yeah. All right. 2 bits of advice. First of all, creation. Do we have masculine and feminine energy? We do. Okay, so we are going to have 1 bit of advice on masculine energy, 1 bit of advice on feminine energy. Do I get a 3rd card to balance the 2 out? I do. Alrighty. We've got rain purification. Okay, that makes sense. We kind of hit on that a little sooner, but I'm going to set it to the side a little bit. So, creation, dreamtime creation. This is Spirit giving you the advice to basically create what it is that you want. You are the person, and it's a deeper you, right? It's your soul. You are the person who's manifesting. So the big advice, again, for your masculine, your divine masculine energy to really wake up for this, to really show up for this in a big style, it has to be what you're dreaming of. It has to be what you're yearning for. It has to be what is true in your heart. And that's the advice. Make sure that you're creating what it is that you want, that you really are dreaming about. And that's how you keep your divine masculine energy high. Specifically, you have to watch out for things like taking shortcuts, seeking efficiency. You know, maybe you're dreaming of creating one product, but it will be cheaper and more efficient to create another one. And then you're like, well, maybe I'll start here with a smaller one and I'll move on to the other one. All of that is rationalizations. Be very careful of that. And it's something that's very present in the process of bringing something that is in our minds, in our hearts, in within, bringing that out into the world. The process is somewhat corruptive, so it's not going to be exactly what you dream about, and that's going to be good. But where you are diverging from what you're dreaming about, you're going to love it. It's going to feel like an amplification, like, oh, it's better than I imagined, it's better than what I dreamed of, even if it is more practical, even if it is more efficient. And by the way, thank God that it is part of meeting the world in the right way, that the world takes our dreams and helps us to make them in a shape and a form that is a lot more in alignment with the earthy nature of reality, right? So it's going to function better in an earthly realm if you do this or if you do that, but you can do that without sacrificing the core, the essence, the spirit of what it is you're trying to create. So that's the first bit of advice, which is super important. And secondly, Dragonfly is saying to let it emerge, because what's going to happen is that everything that we are in life, we're taking the big lens. Life exists for you, and the universe's prime importance is you. The reason why the universe prioritizes our dreams is because they allow the truer aspect of ourselves to come out, to emerge, to be lived, but also to thrive in the world. It's better soul food to be living out your dream and to be kind of living through your dream than to be living through a form of accommodation or something that you copied of someone else, or something that's the status quo, and so on and so forth. It does really depend also on where your soul is and its growth and evolution. But if you're here watching this reading, you are someone whose soul and even spiritual energy, your spirit, who you really are, needs a higher manifestation to thrive on, because the purpose at the end of the day is not to get cool stuff or not to do cool things, but it is really to manifest you. It is for your spiritual energy to become much more embodied. It is for you to be a truer version of yourself. And so part of the process necessarily requires that it just shakes up all the cards. That again, what you are wanting to create is going to shift and change, because you're also going to be emerging. A truer version of you is going to be emerging through you pursuing this, through this process. Masculine and feminine always merge. And so as a truer version of you comes out, you might change a little bit how you do things. And then a truer version of you comes out and you change a little bit how you do things. You start pursuing this and you start becoming more yourself, like more empowered, more true, more clear also about what your values are, your truth is, and so on, and where you lie. And that creates space for more of your true being to show up, because it's like your reality is telling you that it's okay to be you. So it's like, there's more space for me to be me, and I can be myself at work, I can be myself in my family, I can be myself in how I dress, and so on and so forth. So more of that energy will be coming out, and that's what Spirit is saying. It's about creating space for this emergence, and again, keeping that highest perspective of understanding that creating the dream is not the outcome in and of itself. That's feminine energy. It takes us into the subtle. The things and the realization and the manifestation, all those have value and they're amazing. But the greatest value is going to be you becoming more of yourself, and you have to create space for that. So again, this also is talking about creating space for integrity, creating space for authenticity, creating space for self-awareness, and also to be able to go into your higher space and your intuition, and to really be able to read the energies and so on and so forth. So to really move through this process in a way that is also very spiritual. And finally, we have this rain and purification. Through these processes, you're going to have to let go of things. Rain, purification. Some things are going to need to wash away. This is not it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's just that if you were at this level of energy, you would already be embodying this. You would already be functioning in this way. You would already have created these dreams. The fact that you're not doesn't say anything bad about you. It just means that you're not in that alignment yet. So as you're emerging, as you're creating that alignment, as you're doing your work and you're bringing your dreams into reality, there are things that are going to have to fall away. There are patterns that are keeping you where you are here and now that just are going to have to fall away. But with the sense of rain and purification, I have been waiting for rain where I'm living for about a week. So we had a little bit, but we still haven't had a lot of rain this season, this spring. And so that's what I'm connecting to, in the sense that there's going to be a lot of gratitude for this process, a lot of gratitude for things finally being able to be released, that you can finally stop holding on so tight. You can let it go because it doesn't serve you anymore. It's not in alignment with who you are now, even, and it certainly is not going to be in alignment with what you're going to grow and evolve into yourself, and also what your reality is going to become. So you are blessed also, and you're going to feel blessed to have a process that allows you to release as you go, to let go of what needs to go. And touching this, yeah, especially at the mental level, new concepts, new ways of thinking about things, new ways of approaching things, new ways of going about things, new techniques also is coming up. And the beautiful blessing of feeling blessed through it all. This is not a purification or release, a letting go that feels sad, that feels heavy. This is just, it feels very timely. And that's the beauty of doing things at the right time, in the right way, right, in the right cycle, that it just feels like a sigh, like, yeah, it feels right. It feels right. And again, that justice energy. So where are we we're gonna cut like this. Okay. So my love, that was your reading. And I'm now going to read this as a takeaway, and it is future. Well, how incredibly appropriate. And it says, the past cannot be changed. The future is yet in your power. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. And I just, again, had that the other day. So it's very much a part of this energy. It's something that is constructed. It's something that is a process. And so do not get so imbalanced in terms of, again, yearning for this dream, that you want to be there now, that you let go of the process. Be here now and see yourself. Spirit is saying you can really see yourself. You can really feel yourself growing into it. You can feel what you're letting go of, who you're becoming, what your reality is evolving into. All of these dynamics will be present from here and now, today, when you're watching this, here and now, today, when you're watching this, and then moving into the future, because this is where you're headed. And the extent to which these potentials and possibilities come true depends on you working it. It is in your power. It is really, really part of your co-creative relationship with spirit. And so it is. So love, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed spending this time with you. So entertaining. So actually, but also just interesting. So if this reading served you, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Please comment definitely with these energies, and I will go through and I will do my thing, and I will heal and clear and release as I'm being guided to, and also as needed, right? So I will do that. I might write down something for us to say, or the words that I will speak. I'll also can pin that in a comment. That's going to be in a couple of days though. I'm going to give this time to move itself through, to work itself through. Okay. And so, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you need more help, I do give intuitive readings actually. So we could go more into these dynamics at a personal level, how they are unfolding, especially for you. And my intuitive readings are actually structured. We work on soul connection. We work on self-love, love and relationships, life purpose. and we go deep. We yank out stuff at the root, we activate your reality, and we get that healing happening. Very powerful readings. And then I also have created some healing work, written out, just as I was saying, just written out words that you can speak to call on spirit, to co-create healing with spirit. Also incredibly powerful. There's at the smallest levels, there's energy clearings, clear out negativity, embrace positivity, and then there's a huge process that goes like for a year, even 16 months, co-creative manifestation with spirit. So there is a big range of stuff, and certainly something that could help you or be relevant to your situation. If that speaks to you, check it out in the description box. Sending you lots of love, wishing you all the best, and I will be seeing you around. Bye, love.